EMV 21959. So we'll basically start with the introduction. Today we'll be discussing on constantly changing economic condition increase the needs to the use of flexible tools and approaches. The second will be the article selected for the study is management accounting and its agency theory, and we'll be briefly discussing on the foundation of management accounting and agency theory and its issues. And the third one will be and the next one will be implication of agency theory in management accounting. So going to the introduction, with the constantly changing economic condition in this recent era, it has become essential of using flexible approaches and tools. The article that has been selected to fit the purpose of the assignment is management accounting and agency theory. The current paper intends to discuss the way of the management accounting involved and the area of scope for additional extension of management accounting with the help of agency theory. For designing the future direction of management accounting, it is crucial to obtain an overview of the development of that field. Thus, this assignment provides a brief discussion of the evolution of management accounting, agency theory, and related issues. Finally, this assignment sets lights of discussing the implication of agency theory in the field of management accounting. So going to the next slides, it's about development of management accounting. So how is it how can be the development of the management accounting? So basically we have listed down the 3 points. It's form on business practice and to promote the business activities, creation of large firms between 1850 and 1925 with increasing the information need for planning and control, and that has led to the development of the management accounting. According to Agola, management accounting is developed on business practices and it needs to serve for promotion of business activities. The field has involved in the establishment of a big organization between 1850 and 1995 and has necessarily the need for information crucial for controlling and planning. So what it generally means is development of management accounting was in the area between 1815 to 1925. So moving on to the next slides, it's development of management. How was it? So furthermore discussion on management accounting. It discusses an organization needs to streamline the product label, appointment of staffs on long-term contracts, and separation of headquarters from the factories. So going through the brief explanation, during this time it is necessary for the organization to streamline production. That was resulted in the establishment of management accounting. The manufacturing firms now used to appoint staff in long-term contracts, which was not prevalent before the Industrial Revolution. In addition, the headquarters are now separated from the factories, which raised the information system and requirement to analyze the managers and staff to the organization. So now moving to the next point, here we will be discussing on development of management accounting. So it was an impact. How was the management accounting developed? It was an impact of the production and mass distribution on the management accounting concept, formation of control system and budget planning. The next point will be more focus on financial outcomes while obvious and non-financial indicators, levy of the new demands resulting in solution of the critical issues. There is a considerable impact on the mass distribution of the production on the management accounting concept, which needs to deliver information regarding the turnover in individual areas along with generally formal reports on performance. These are little different from the reports that are current management accounting providers. The requirement for management information results in development of control system and budget planning, which help in ensuring the various activities in different divisions are in tandem with the business objects. As laid out in the article Bukovo, the management accounting was concentrated traditionally on financial outcomes, and it has remained obvious and the other indicators like market position, customer loyalty, customer relationship, loyalty, and staff motivation. With the formation of the non-indicators and association with external business environment, new demands are leveled on the management system and information support and on the perspective of management accounting. Such extension of management accounting gives a new information which might enable to solve critical issues. Thus, there is a proactive approach in responding to the situation by transferring management accounting from a passive role towards solving actions to a strategic approach. So moving on to the next slides, it's agency theory. So we are just giving the overview of the business process from the perspective of principal and reagent, and the next one will concept contractual relationship with the principal hires agents to perform work on behalf of the former. And the next point will be delegation of decision making abilities to agent. So as going on the brief explanation, one of the most significant in management accounting is agent theory. For the past 27 years, the theory helps providing an effective theoretical framework in order to gain an insight the business process from the principal agent viewpoint. As commented by Bruce Phillips, agent theory is a contractual relationship where a single or from or more individual hire or more individual agent for performing some actions in favor of principal. This needs delegation of various making power and agent. So after these slides, it's my part. So I'm handing this over to my colleague Bimal Bhattrai. So the next presentation will be from Bimal Bhattrai.
Bimal? Ashish, I'm going to continue with the agency theory again. My name is Bimal Bhattrai. My student ID is PVS2101. I'll continue with the agency theory. Let's talk a little bit about agency theory. We're going to talk about the agents and principal are rational economical persons who are motivated because of self-interest. Rationality might vary based on the preference, information, and conviction, and decision is made for a principal since the risk lies with the principal only. So let's explain a little bit on that thing. The agent and the principal are considered as rational economical individuals who are motivated due to self-interest, and this might change because of conviction, preference, and information, as the principal provides capital and bears the risk, while the agents perform the task. A decision is made in favor of the principal and the risk is transferred to the principal as well. Let's go to the next slide, and that one is problem of agency theory. I have enlisted 4 points on that, so let's go to that. Agent behavior and desire for maximum utility function, inconsistency with the principal objectives, formation of information asymmetry. More information lies with the agent due to direct engagement in business operation. Let's explain a little bit on that thing as well. The agency relationship encounters fundamental issue that deals with the agent behavior and desire for maximizing the utility functions, and this might not be consistent with the principal objectives. The result in agency problem in which the agent might not act in the best interest of the principal. Information asymmetry take place when one party has more information than the other party. In majority of the cases, the agent has more information due to direct engagement in the daily operation of the organization. Thus, it could be viewed as market failure, which results in ineffective distribution of available resources. Going towards the next slide. I'm continuing with the problem agency theory. So there's like 3 more things on that thing. Type of shareholders, manager relationship, and second one is separation of ownership, and shareholders might restrict the latter to observe the managerial behavior. And the last one is the great exposure to the risk. So let's go to a little bit on that thing as well. Another issue associated with the agency theory is that kind of shareholder management relationship. If the ownership and management is separated, a situation might take place in which the shareholders could not observe the behavior of the manager. As a result, the manager would not perform according to the best interest of the shareholders, and they might behave opportunistically. Hence, the relationship between the shareholder and the manager is exposed to risk. So I'm going to step into principal agent model. So I have listed 3 points on that thing as well. So let's go one by one. Ability to predict the likelihood of future eventualities, and the second one is assumption of information asymmetry, and the third one is agent possesses some additional information and agent is considers risk reward. So let's explain a little bit on the thing as well. The principal agent model depends on the rational attitude of the individual, and it is assumed that these individuals have the ability to estimate and analyze the likelihood of future eventualities. According to the Jones, the principal agent model benefit management accounting a way for assuring variables and coherence framework in which the management accounting issues could be viewed. In this model, there is an assumption of information asymmetry. The agent possesses some information to which the principal could not gain access costless, and agent is assumed as a risk averse. The next one is transaction cost economics model. I haven't listed 4 point on this thing as well, so let's go one by one. Individuals carry out activities out of their own interests. Individuals have limited opportunities. Contracts are incomplete. A resolution of contractual relationship between organizations. Let's explain a little bit about all these things. According to the model, the individual performance activities based on their self-interest. This could be termed as an opportunities behavior, since the individual do not behave as per the rules. In this model, it is assumed that the individual possesses restricted opportunities. As a result, the individual could not estimate all the probable future contingencies. Thus, in this model, it is assumed that the contracts are incomplete. This model gives a description of a unusual relationship between firms aiming to develop or using monopoly power. Hence, it could be stated that the model concentrated on resolution of contractual associations between organizations, which could lay additional stress on contractual association with the organization. I'm gonna hand over this presentation to my mate Jasmine. Thank you so much.
My name is Jasmeet Kaur. I am going to explain the further slides. My student ID is EAB2449. This slide is about the Rochester model. This model is identical to the transaction cost economics model, which depicts transaction costs and opportunistic behavior. However, it is developed on the theory of positive accounting. With the help of this model, situations could be identified where there are variations of interests between agent and principal inherent, along with evaluation of cost effectiveness in setting control mechanism. Another advantage of this model is that the framework could be applied to the agency problem, and its intention is to gain an overview of the occurrence of agency problem and the ways it could be mitigated through the organizational culture. The next slide is about the implications of agency theory in management accounting. The management accounting research is focused considerably on performance analysis and issues concerning the control of the organization. This takes into account management incentives along with the behaviors of the agent and the principal. The agency theory has been deduced from a concept which could estimate managerial and organizational output in association with the financial processes and information. The research in this field has focused on designing the optimum monitoring system. Thus, it is necessary for the principal in deciding the amount to be invested in the production system and in the monitoring system. It has been found out that if heavy investment is made on the production process on the part of the principal, the firm could invest in a monitoring system for minimizing the agency problem. The next slide is about the implications of agency theory in management accounting continue. The agency theory could be applied in organizations along with attempting to describe the relationships between them. A significant prerequisite is the contract imperfection, since it is not possible to include all future contingencies. However, the agency theory has the issue of information asymmetry. In order to deal with the specific issue, the information asymmetry one, promoting information exchange would be a feasible idea between the firms. Again, I'm going to explain this topic. Hence, by combining the agency theory and managerial accounting, there is ardent need for tools to monitor the managerial behavior. Moreover, a need is inherent to control and manage the monitoring costs. With the help of agency theory, an overview of the managerial behavior could be obtained, which has direct influence on the value of information in management accounting. In case the information of management accounting is not able to disclose this opportunistic behavior, depending on agency theory, additional costs have been incurred and the resources of the firm have gone in vain.